I am back with another update, working on all the little things to test fire this motor, and I got the exhaust downpipes made, and this thing is so tight. Let's see if I can get in here so you can actually see how close this is. It's like a sheet of notebook paper right there on the subframe, but it clears. And it also clears the starter. I don't know if I can get a shot in there, see that or not. But it clears that way. And you can actually get it out. That was the biggest thing. So this thing is like, it's like a jigsaw puzzle getting it out. And it's all the way down to taking the crank sensor out just to be able to move the starter enough to get that out, and then you gotta, it's a lot of things. You gotta take everything apart almost over here, pertaining to this little area to get it out, and then I've got just enough room. Like, you gotta have it in just the right angle to get the starter out completely. I didn't even think I could, so that's good to know. So, but I mean, that's there. I just pie cut it up, and it doesn't look the prettiest, but for what I'm working with, I think it looks pretty cool. So it kind of comes down from the back and then forward and down that way, and then comes and then snakes the back, and I got a V-band on it. And then on the other side, it's not nearly as aggressive, but that comes down, and I've got both of these V-banded. My O2 sensor wideband is in right there, V-bands, and this one sits just a hair lower, but it's really not that bad. It's above the oil pan, which unfortunately is the lowest point on the car. Well, actually the lowest point's the oil filter, and I'm going to change that out. I've got a smaller one I'm going to put on, but that's after, that's way down the road. I'm still going to use the AC Delco one to break it in. I just put oil in it, and I got some of that Comp Cam's break-in additive. It's what got zinc and phosphorus in it. So I spun it over a couple times. It sounds healthy, and as far as routing the exhaust back, I can basically come straight back with this one over top of here, and then this one can come straight back from here, and then I'm gonna have to come up this way like that, and then meet that pipe and come back down a little bit and then come to a straight. But I'm not 100% sure yet how I'm gonna make the Y pipe yet, because I need to know where this drive shaft's going to be, so I'm going to have to get a drive shaft in here soon. But it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It seems like the things that I've been dreading haven't even been the hardest. That's been like, some of the easy things to do. I enjoy doing this. This is fun. I'm not a professional at it, but making all the pie cuts and putting it together, it was actually, I enjoyed doing that. So, and the easy stuff is the stuff that's just the biggest pain in the ass. So I don't know, that's just how everything's been going with this build. And I finally got some I got some little clips that'll fit these, because the other ones I had was too big, so I can get the fuel line and the brake line up, get that tucked up. I need to do that, and then just like weld some little bolt heads on here. I'm just gonna have to be careful doing it because it has fuel pressure in it now. I put some fuel in the tank, and I've got the system pressurized. Nothing's leaking, so that's good. And then I've got a balancer ordered. I should be getting that tomorrow, and I've got plugs and wires I'm going to throw in, hoping that these coil packs are good. I got these from the junkyard like a long time ago, and it's way past the warranty to return them if they don't. And dude, LKQ sucks. They really do. I paid like $160 for these, and like a coil pack's supposed to be like $20. I was like, this is a coil pack. No, it's not. I was like, no, this is a coil pack. They're all together. He was like, coil pack you can't take apart. I was like, look, dude, I can take anything apart. So I ended up paying like almost $20 a piece for them. But anyway, hopefully they work. I've heard a lot of controversy about what's better, round, square, but I mean, these have the heat sink on them. From what I've researched, it's pretty much boils down to opinion. I'm not 100% sure what's better, what's not, but for what I'm doing, it's going to work for now. Change them out in the future, it's whatever, but hopefully they just do what they're supposed to do, and I can start the motor at least hear it run. So I gotta make a better ground. This is horrible. This is just temporary. So I'm thinking of maybe, I got extra 0 gauge cable in the back of the daily. I'm thinking about cutting some of that out and make some ground out of that. That would be a great time to tidy up those wires back there too. So we'll see. I really need some bigger terminals. All I have is some 2 gauge terminals right now. But oh, and I cut the center console out to fit the shifter. I didn't really have to take a whole lot out of it, just that right there. So I mean, I'm not 100. I like how it feels though with the armrest right here, but I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna go about this. Like maybe I could bring something in. I don't know. I was thinking about just getting like a really big crown roll bag, just putting down in there and maybe fill the whole thing up, but I'll probably try to at least bring something back here and then make a little shift boot right here. I still got to figure out this whole deal down here and then find some type of actual rubber shift boot to put under it. So, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I like it. So feels alright. It's comfortable. I like it a little farther back anyways, you know, so because I feel like when I had on the stock shifter up here, my elbow, I got short arms, so my elbow doesn't actually sit on it like that, but back here it rests on it perfectly. So I'm happy with that. It's pretty good. And then let's see, I'm trying to think of what else I got to do here in the near future. I still just really little things at this point. Once I get it test fired and make sure everything's good with the motor and I don't have to pull it back out, hopefully not, then I can keep working on little things, because if I do have to pull it back out, there's no sense in, you know, putting finishing touches on stuff and getting this thing whole thing back together right now. And I do have to pull the dash back out and do a little bit more with the wiring. I decided just for now, I'm probably just going to throw a fuse on the trigger wire that goes to the starter. I really need to put a bigger wire that goes to the power wire that goes to the starter. I'm not 100% sure how confident I am in the stock Miata wiring from the battery. I mean, I think it should be fine. It doesn't have to be that big. While we're on the topic of the motor, I guess let's just I'll just give a rundown of the drivetrain, because I keep forgetting to do that. That's probably something that I should have done in the first video. But I mean, every time I pick this camera up to record, I'm just talking about little things that I've done, and I didn't record a lot of things. So I really need to write stuff down, like a list of stuff that I need to talk about. So as far as the drivetrain goes, this is just iron block LM7. I was told it came out of like a Tahoe, and then I picked up a long block, like $200. It had a little surface rust in it, so I took it apart and I hot tanked it at work and scrubbed it, got pretty much all that out. I put new rings in, new cam bearings, and rod and main bearings, and then I've got the sloppy stage 2 set up, the Elgin cam and the pack springs, and let's see, that's pretty much all I have is performance wise. I got an LS1 intake, Pontiac G8 manifolds, and then obviously I have the Corvette intake. I grabbed the rest of the stuff from the junkyard. Didn't have valve covers, truck throttle body, and those coil packs. I got the Jegs fuel rail, which I really wanted the Holly Sniper one, but I didn't want to spend like the extra $100 on it, but I guess you wouldn't really see it anyways, but just to go with the whole Holly theme, that would have been nice. But I mean, it's the same one, I'm sure. And then for transmission, I have the Nissan 350Z CD009, and it is that for sure, 100%, because I took it apart, I broke it down completely, and it has the updated third gear. It has all the triple cone synchronizers and the double cone in the right place, and I basically broke it down. And I mean, it was a takeout unit that we had sitting out back, and we just really didn't know about it. So I broke it down. I didn't even change it. I think I changed one bearing race, and that's just because I felt like I got metal in the front counter race when I was cutting the bell off. So I changed that out, and that's pretty much it. You know, all the other bearings are fine. I mean, there's a huge main bearings to begin with. I just lubed everything up and put it back together the way it was, with the Collins adapter and a T56 Camaro bell. And then I got the GK Tech Z. It's the thing. It's converts it for like a 240. So you can put in like a 240Z or something like that. Shifter on the back, and then as far as the differential goes, I've got an 8.8 out of a Ford Explorer, an '08 Ford Explorer that has the 2 mounts on the front. I think it was like '06 or after '06 they went from the 1 mount in the front style to the 2, which has a lot more rigidity. I have a little more confidence in that. And then I took a Mustang limited slip carrier that was in the parts pile at work, and rebuilt that with new clutch packs. And then it had 373s in it. I took those out and I swapped them with 308s that I had in the Grand Marquis, and then I put 410s in the Grand Marquis. So from what I've researched, that'll be a good gear combination for the Nissan transmission. So that's basically what I have in the drivetrain right now. And I mean, really, you don't see a whole lot of people using the Explorer diffs. You're starting to now, but I mean, it's basically the same thing as a T-Bird diff, and I honestly feel like the way it mounts in the back is a lot more solid than the T-Bird diff is to begin with. I mean, it's instead of that one little plate in the middle, I mean, you got 2 ears on the side, and I just solid mounted it. I've got they're like 1-inch sleeve bushings that I went straight through the frame, and then I've got 1/8-inch steel over top of that. And I've got to find the right size bolts. I don't have them right now. I'm trying to figure out what pitch they are. I found out the factory bolt online. It's a really weird thread, and I haven't been able to find it yet, so I'm working on that. I need a little shorter bolt so I can put the sway bar back on. But I mean, these things are cheap. I got this for like $100 at LKQ. So I mean, T-Bird diffs are going for like $300. Some people are trying to sell just the housing like that for that much. So that's what I have as far as the differential goes. And then I've got to get axles made. I've got a couple different ideas right now on what I'm going to do. The latest one is I'm going to hopefully get a local shop to just make some shafts out of I'm trying to remember it was like 4043 steel or something like that. Can't remember what it was called, but and basically just go from the Explorer 8.8 tripod bearing to the Miata outer CV hub, and just see how that works out. I know a lot of people have done it and respline shafts to do it that way, and the main thing was that it snaps off where it goes into the Miata outer CV. But with this hardened steel, that's because only the ends are heat treated from the factory, and when you respline an existing shaft, it's not heat treated, and that's why it snaps. But with this type of metal he was talking about using, I mean, the whole thing's already heat treated, and you can just cut it from there and then respline it. So hopefully, I just got to see if he has the right pattern to do it. And I don't know, he said it'd be around like $200 to $300 per axle or per shaft. So hopefully that'll work out and we can go that route. But so that's what I have as far as the drivetrain goes. And these next videos I'm going to try to, be more detailed about it and try to record closer together and remember to actually bring my camera. And also, as far as my engine goes, I am using a Speedway sheet metal pan, which is the same thing as the Jeg Street Strip pan, and they also have one on Summit. But this one I found with Speedway, it is a quad baffled trapdoor pan. I didn't see that on the Jeg's website. I'm sure you could probably find it, but they only have it with the oil filter that's mounted onto it, which that's fine with me. I really didn't want to run the remote oil filter anyway, but I mean, it clears pretty good. I set a 1/4-inch plate on top of the rack, and then made my mounts from there. I mean, it hangs down a little bit. It's not horrible, but I'm basically just going to make a skid plate and come up under here. That's about all I can really do. So that's all that I really have, aftermarket performance-wise on the motor. And I just went with an F-body balancer, and I'm going to use F-body accessories too. And my first start video has already come out. I started recording the overview of what I have for a drivetrain, and then I ended up starting it, so that was pretty awesome. So I guess I'm gonna wrap this video up as far as the engine overview and the update on the exhaust. The next video I'm going to do is going to be basically a how-to on installing the Holley Terminator X on a Miata. I took the dash back out, and I'm finishing wiring up basically all my accessory stuff, and I redid my starter wire, so I have a legitimate starter. I've got the 4-gauge AWG welding cable coming off of my main fuse block going into right there, and I got some heat shield. I rerouted the fuel lines, so that's tucked away from the exhaust a little bit more, so I'm a lot happier with how that's set up now. And as far as the trigger wire goes, I just put a fuse on it, and I think that'll be fine. Oh, and then I also added some grounds on the front. Same deal. The 4-gauge welding cable, I've got one on each side, so the wiring's a lot better than it was now. So I guess I'm gonna wrap this video up, and the next one you see should be an overview of how to install the Holley and what wires you need to tap into. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.